Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the actually, what if Deku or Zuko was an assassin? My version of it. So, in this what if, it's similar to. Sorry. Give me a moment. So, Zuko was. Or it takes. What if Zuko was quiet? Like, the always on mute. And the what if Zuko was alone and got ignored for 24 hours thing. Yeah, so basically, no, it doesn't like it even exist thing. And I'm also gonna throw in some what if Deku had like creation quirk in that mix. So yeah, so it's one heck of a ride. So let's begin. Like, after Zuko was born and his quirk was, and in this what if, Zuko's power is actually infinity and creation. Just to let you all know that. So, sorry. Oh. So the doctors told him that, or he actually has a sister in this what if, but she's so loud that even it's hilarious. And so Zuko got abandoned because he was quirkless. So, yeah. Then he got trained to become a assassin. Because no one hired him. So he doesn't use any of his unique special abilities. So, yeah. And or only like he creates blades from his wrists as he now he does this for a couple of years as he develops a new villain name called Screamer. And actually, so Screamer her is his villain name. They are actually silent but deadly one. So, yeah. Zuko was basically powerful enough to destroy anyone. So, yeah. So he does this for a couple of years. And then he got the entire not meteor, but entire media talks all about this so-called silent but deadly, or yeah, he was smart one. He he was so smart that makes everybody else feel dumb. So, yeah. He does it in, like, all the way to... He is even smarter than the entire galaxy. Like, if go back to Ben 10, anything, he's way smarter than him, and Galvin's, and, yeah, all of those people. So, yeah. He has this power of time, so he can stop time and move quickly. Like slow motion kind. It's like those animes ones where, or example would be One Piece. Where that skeleton walks straight forward and he like puts his blade back in, and then the villain dies. Yeah. So, yeah, kind of like that, but he moves faster than the even cameras. So he is silent but deadly. So he secretly when he went to UA, he got first place that no one even noticed, as he texts his like he was doing that as the every 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, 4-pointers, or I'm adding like 4-pointers and 5-pointers to it. So he killed all of those 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, 4-pointers, and 5-pointers with just like his cameras can't even pick up that fast, as they're like, okay, who's the one that did it? As Zuko is like, he's even faster than the eyes. So, yeah. As Nezu says, the silent but deadly person. He can be useful for... So, yeah. It was the ninja, that was doing it. As everybody is like in like that stare thing. As he says, he went fast. As he's like rubbing his arms. As based off of how powerful he is, or they see him as like just relaxed and thing. But nope. When they saw those those robots, like, exploded 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3 thing. And the 0 pointer came as he says, huh. Or actually, he thinks in his head, huh. Okay. As he literally took because how fast he was. And his blades were pretty sharp. So he even cut that 0 pointer robot into bacon bits or scrap thing. And everybody saw that as they're like, what the heck happened? As they're like, does the same thing. So, Bakugo is mad because some random guy is as a blade. He's quick on his feet. As then he went back to the road thing. As now the meeting thing. As he says, well, you all know that Zuko, or probably Zuko, is the silent but deadly. As Mr. Aizawa says, well, yes, he has this unique ability, or a natural quirk that we never saw before. Yeah, and with that speed, not even cameras could pick up what he was doing. As Blood Hero's agreeing with him, and All Might says, well, or actually, Music Mike says, well, I think that he can, if we wanted to assassinate somebody, he's a perfect man for it. Yes, but there's one problem. If he will, or no one will know who it was. Yeah. So, that's only at the hero side. Now, the villain side? With All For One talking to a doctor, and like he says, well, is there any new reports of this so-called silencer? Well, the reports are saying that he moves swiftly. He doesn't hold back on any targets. With that. So, yeah. And the heroes meeting thing, she shows up, or she was there. And she says, well, if this guy, I know that I probably have a hunch about it. As she says, it's about what if Zuko and the silencer are probably the same person. As because his outfit was similar to who, like, the to that, but with his face totally revealed, or like he was wearing a mask thing, as it was like that, but with so yeah. So now they are like trying to figure it out of who, as another one, another one, and another one, and another one, as he trains harder and harder, as he got first place. So then he got into UA, and then Zuko, who got the highest of all the body counts. Like, he basically is, because how many assassins that he did for those, or like, to those robots? Yeah. He basically, he doesn't, let me remind you, he doesn't talk in any of these, or in this universe thing, or in this what if. So, he doesn't even speak. He just nods his head or shakes his head, or he moves around his hands, as no one in that universe could understand sign language. They only, as, yeah, he basically, because in this what if, his parents taught him how to use his powers, but not to speak. So, yeah, as more and more assassination things happen, and so the crime rate went from being like super overpowered thing to about 0. I mean, everybody looks at, as they, or all the villain says, I don't want to be on that guy's next killing list. So, yeah. So the crime rate went down to 0, and, or right at 0. So then Blood Hero's like, that is strange. Why does he not, or why does he target villains? As probably, or actually, Nezu says probably he doesn't even notice that or as of course actually the government hired him, or actually they hired him like right after school or UA. So yeah, so he uses his powers as it's similar to canon, but USJ was boring because in in this universe, every villain went into hiding, so they aren't gonna deal with the silencer. As they thought it was some old man doing it. So then Bakugo got kidnapped at the camp park, and Zuko wears his outfit thing of wearing a mask, and like he basically comes in and he basically is like chop 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 as he puts his blade away, and yeah, hold on. Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose. So the yeah. So Zuko assassinated All for One and the Gorse and his League of Villains, or actually just All for One, and then he moves fast as he goes to the doctor. Huh? What the heck was that? No. Don't mind my dogs. Sorry about that. And Zuko was basically sorry. What the hell? So sorry. I sneezed. So now when he already knows who the doctor is, so he killed the two fake doctors and went down to see the real one, as he says, huh, or in his head saying, huh, as he ends up assassinating basically killing the doctor off by stabbing him and ending his life. So now, as he goes back to school thing, and yeah, he is, no one notices that he's always, or they always thought he was late, but he always ends up super early. As heck, Mr. Aizawa was like, totally forgot that he was in this class, as he says is that, or Eraserhead says to Zuko that you're always so quiet, as he does the like writing in thin air thing, as he says my power, or it says my power is as he draws an arrow to them, as infinity and silence and the like all that stuff. So yeah, as Zuko, or as Eraserhead says, oh, it's your mute button that is your power, or mute. As, or actually, it says infinity creation. Or he puts infinity and then creation underneath. As Momo sees it's, and as, someone has creation. But as he says, or he wrote down reason why I'm not talking, or because his voice, he doesn't like really know any like words, so he just like write them down, or like he. So the hero name was A Silent Night. As they're like, but then yeah. So then he was basically did pretty good on, or he did great on the cavalry battle and race, because how fast he was. Yeah. He basically could create anything retracted, as he like, as everybody sees it, as the as Racerhead says, why are you not talking or not moving your lips? As he wrote down, I was born, or it says, I was born in where my parents didn't taught me how to speak. It says that. As Racerhead says, oh, you were not taught how to speak properly. As it says no, but they taught me how to use my quirk. Or my power. As, yeah. So, Mr. Aizawa was or All Might heard what is going on, as they couldn't believe that someone didn't teach their kid to speak proper English, like what I am trying to do. So, yeah, Zuko is basically pretty powerful. Full. As, yeah, they can never tell what he's thinking. As, of course, Eraserhead says, well, he doesn't know how to speak properly. Or speak. So, of course, Nezu's intrigued, because he never had a student speak, or never spoken. As, yeah. So, he ends up getting taught by Lang, the English teacher of teaching him how to use his words. As his infinity quirk didn't allow him to, like, have supersonic ones. So then he starts speaking. Like, hi, how are ya? Kind. I mean, not the... Because he can use it now, but then... Or back then he was... he was smart. And he was like, yeah. And his voice, he couldn't be... Or actually, his voice was a lot smoother. He even put his own English teacher to sleep because how smoothing it was. As he says, as the teacher was like trying to, as, yeah. So he recorded him like talking smoothly, as everybody, including Hezu, is like went right to sleep. So yeah, Midnight went to sleep because her quirk is basically is sleep, but she went right to sleep with the same thing as Eraserhead. So yeah, so no one even noticed that Zuko was... Sorry if my breathing is weird, but it's just live in the world, okay? Sorry. the so as he was such a smooth talker that as even all the girls like Mina, Jiro, Ochako, Momo, all the girls from Class A and Class B heard his beautiful voice when he's talking. As everybody's like, did you meant to do that? Is that part of your power? As he says, no, it's my normal voice. As he talks so smooth that even some people are looking at him like, really? You must be joking. I'm not kidding with you. As heck, of course, he did had one power of copying, so for his was Choir's blood. So he had his own arm as he cloned himself and before. So there was still assassinations attempts things. So yeah. Primary went down to -1. There's nothing. As when All Might heard his voice, All Might was smiling like nobody's business. And in this what if, he already gave One for All to his sister, so yeah. So then Zuko starts training. As he says, as every girl wanted to train with him. Like from Class A and Class B. And even, hold on, I had to grab one picture, I forgot. Her. So, everybody that around the city was heard Zuko's voice thing. As he says, or he talks normally, like, it's his normal voice that he talks so, like, smooth that some people are like, what the heck? Yeah, so sorry if I'm moving around a lot, so I'm not those people that are planted in one spot, so yeah. So the Zuko got asked to do him a favor, or do the government a favor. As he says, sure, when he need. As you and Miss Lady Nagan Hun need to work together. As he says, okay. As Lady Nagan is still, or she, after meeting him for the first time, she heard that he's a deadly assassin, or as government knows who Zuko really was, as to keep it a secret from him, as Lady Ngun says, "You're the silencer." As he says, "Yeah, so what?" As he went to a military base thing, villain's base, I'll call it that, and they have to steal the top files and the link. He killed the main, like, king or so, and all of his servants. Okay. As he so Lady Ngun and Zuko, like, as he says, or ready? As Lady Ngun says yes. And she's feeling kind of attracted to Zuko's when she is trying not to. It's similar to how she is. But she was as he can tell that they aren't trying to resist his, as he says, as he says, "You don't like my normal voice?" As Lady Ngan says, "No. Oh." As he is silencer, but of course, he asked the same thing to her. She says, "Yeah." Of course, she's stumbling over her words because she didn't realize that she's not getting controlled, but it was just him talking to her. As she didn't realize that he's just using his normal voice, like his human voice. Yeah. None of them did. So then he says, "All right." Then, as he runs up and he, like, basically grew blades out as he goes in, slices the every servant thing, as he, like, or it's in his head, so, as he grabs the memory thing, as he says, "Okay," right inside of his head, as he killed everybody and came right back, as he's all bloody. As Lady Ngun says, "They should have sent just you." As he says, yeah, let's go. As he moved so quick that, like, he puts his legs back and then everything dies. As Landing Gun says, or actually, he told him that to be careful, I might start liking you that way. As, of course, between Lady Ningun and her, they both like Zuko, but they're trying to not. Because they were single. And so, yeah. So, Lady Ningun and, of course, it happened to a couple days after that, as Sir Night Eye says, or asks Zuko to come, and to that meeting, and, like, yeah, and this what if Lady Gun wasn't a villain? She was just a hero thing all the way. So, yeah. So, and, of course, actually, one day, of course, after that meeting, he says, alright, as he puts on his mask thing and went to that one area where Overhaul's troops are and him are at, as he says, as he, like, he warps right in, as he, like, assassinates everybody, like, chopping off their limbs, like their arms, legs, making them, like, not get away thing, as they were, like, pretty fast. As he grabs, or he basically grabbed Aries, runs her to the hospital thing to check a recovery girls clinic thing, and came right back as he says, wow. As they're like, what the heck just happened? I'm skipping the dodgeball thing, because you know what Zuko did? He, like, basically did, like, he used one ball and, like, touched everybody. And like, yeah, that's how powerful he was. He can never slow down. As he was such a smooth talker, he does, like, missions things, as Lady Gun and her were actually, now it was time, so they both agreed to marry him together. And so they both walked up to him, as they both asked him to go on a date with them before, and then he did, and then now he got married to them, and they had 2 kids. You're probably thinking, Chaz, I ship Zuko with the Ochako. Yeah, but in the it's just in this what if I just thought about it's so I still ship those two, but now and years have passed. Inko or no, Zumi notices that her brother is or she starts or she's talking as yeah. So or Zumi told Inko, her mother, that it's just so weird. As Inko says, "What's weird, sweetie?" As she tells her that the student named Zuku Midoriya is in my class. Because she's in class A. As Inko remembers, sorry, as she tells her that, oh, Zuku is actually your brother. And you haven't met in a long time. As she couldn't believe that her own mother says, wait, so you're saying that Zuku is my brother? Huh. And you know he's unmuted, right? As oh, really? As she didn't teach her kid how to speak, she just went right into her or went into their powers. So, yeah, Zuko or Inko is like, oh boy, as she couldn't believe that her her daughter told her that the Zuku is unmuted. As yeah, when that's going on, Zuku, who had 2 kids, I was gonna 4 kids, and not a company. Actually, the 4 kids. One of them was actually, or they both shared the same powers, or all 4 of them share each. I was gonna say 6 of them, but I know that human stomachs usually don't have like 6 people inside of them. So, yeah, so 3, and each one has their own, like, their mother's quirks, and when each part of the infinity, like space, mind, soul, power, and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's why it's so gosh dang hilarious. As they know that, and so then a couple days after, like, he went on one mission to assassinate this villain called Inferno. Not Endeavor, Inferno, and Nine was working together. So he says, okay. As he killed them both, like, without any hesitation. Done. Now, as he also gets paid for it. So, yeah. Nezu now knows that Zuko is both, or he is the anti-hero. Similar to Ngan. So he says, alright, we have the anti-hero too. As Mr. Aizawa says, what do you mean, anti-hero? As Midnight says, well, studies show that the victims of those people that he killed were actually all villains. Huh. We're looking at the villain killer Zuko, right? Yes. But both Silencer and the Night Silence, or Silent Night, are both same thing. As, yeah. And they got a house that fits her in and Lady Ngan in. So yeah. And Zuko and all those like 6 people or 6 children of theirs. And I kept doing that. So then Zuko was basically pretty powerful. As he tells them each one of their powers are derived from Zuko's. So of course, he tells them that each one of you has a gift. Like soul, power, mind, and like he explains what each one does. As Lady Ngan and her are like surprised that he still kept his original tone or his like smooth talk. I'm not gonna tempt it, so yeah. So now we of course he does like these hero missions things with like Mr. Aizawa and Midnight and Sir Nighteyes, because in this What If, Sir Nighteyes never died and no one died. As he says, and Nezu says, well, of course, the pro hero or like student heroes of like, or I almost said Lady Ngan again. So I meant Ochako, Jiro, or actually Ochako fell in love with Zuko, and her heart's still with Zuko, as she literally told him that I was gonna put her with Bakugo, but or let's do that. So, yeah. So then, of course, one day she thought to herself of what if her kids would look like with Zuko. because she never thought about having that much power. And yeah, then one day Inko showed up as she tells Zuko that she's sorry or not teaching him to speak properly, as he says that's alright. And because it's been so long, so he still prefers to be a little bit quiet thing, like he's like quiet. But now time goes on as he still lives. He's immortal, but you know who or everybody or never mind. It's please leave a like, share, subscribe. If you like this commentary, please leave it down in the description below. And thank you. Have a nice day. Peace.